Hey, I'm Steve, also known as Terramantis, and in this video we're going to talk about 10 things that you may or may not know about Fortnite from Epic Games. We'll go over topics based in game mechanics, Easter eggs, and things that are just simply fun to know. But all these Fortnite topics are either obscure or widely unknown. The topics will get more difficult as we go, so remember to play the game where if you learn something new, you hit the like button. But if you knew absolutely everything, you should still hit the like button. A lot of work goes into these videos. Alright, let's jump into 10 things you don't know about Fortnite. The first topic has to do with the Retrieve the Data mission. One interesting aspect of this mission type is that it always starts with a bonus badge for finding the balloon quickly. Well, one aspect that you may not know is that you can actually see the balloon descending from the air. So just look to the sky as you enter the mission, spot the balloon, and start running in that direction.
Landing site spotted. Nice find.
One more thing that you may not know is that if you're strapped for time, you can actually shoot the balloon to bring it down early, causing the Husks storm to begin and bypassing the balloon's descent time from the sky. The next one has to do with the Smasher, the hulking, barreling, wailing bullet sponge that loves to smash your fort. As I'm sure you well know, the Smasher will scream and then go into a forward driving assault, pulverizing anything left in its path. Well, what you may not know is that you can stop the Smasher dead in its tracks with a charge of your own. That's right, if you do the Constructor's Bull Charge ability and collide with an oncoming Smasher, it will stop him instantly, momentarily stunning the Smasher. The next one has to do with a few environmental jumping items that you may or may not know about. First off, I'm sure we all know about the piles of tires. These are great to get to the first and second stories of rooftops for those of us who aren't playing the double jumping ninja. Also, there's the tornadoes in Candy Valley. But the one that really sticks out that you may not know is the fire hydrant. If you smack the top off the fire hydrant with your pickaxe, the water will sprout out, acting as a means to launch your character into the air just like a jump pad. This next topic is invaluable. It's also highly circumstantial and based completely on the randomness of your mission's layout, but nonetheless, it's an invaluable tactic to be aware of. And what you may not know is that enemies will die instantly if they're pushed into a pit with no means of an exit. In other words, if you have a base you're meant to protect and there's buildings nearby, check for a basement. If there's a basement, clear the ground floor, and then destroy all the stairs or ramps leading back to the main level. If the placement is just right, set up wall pushers and bring shotguns or two-handed maces to start knocking enemies around. When they fall into the pit with no means of escape, they burst into a fiery death moments later. That's right, even the bullet sponge Smasher will die from being knocked into a basement. I don't know about you, but the only thing that wrecks my base more than a Smasher is lobbers. It's probably why I've developed an unnatural obsession with building roofs, but that's neither here nor there. The real thing that you may find interesting and may not know is that you can actually shoot lobbers' projectiles mid-air, stopping them from striking your beloved creations. Now, the only thing that destroys my fort more than lobbers has to be the Husks with their explosive propane tanks. Well, an invaluable piece of information that you may not know is that you can actually bat away the propane tanks with melee. Also, if you're a player who doesn't use melee weapons, you can always switch to a pickaxe to send those destructive propane tanks flying back into the horde. And I gotta tell you, not much is more satisfying than giving those Husks a taste of their own explosive medicine. The next one has to do with Epic Games' library of past titles. In Fortnite, while pickaxing the world into oblivion, there's no surprise that there's some nods to the developer's past that would be found, mostly in the form of gaming posters to Epic's older titles. And heading in chronological order, the first I noticed was Jazz Jackrabbit, basically a 1994 Sonic game for DOS featuring a green rabbit with a gun instead of a blue hedgehog. Next is a few nods to Unreal Tournament, the first being the Capture the Flag character art, followed by the iconic Facing Worlds map. And last but not least is a poster for Shadow Complex, one of the best Metroidvania games ever made. The next one has to do with an Easter egg to a Stephen King novel turned film. And to see this, during early access of Fortnite, if you purchase the Super Deluxe version of the game, you obtain various perks, one of which was a gunslinger defender named Idris. This of course is a nod to Idris Elba, who played the part of the gunslinger in the movie adaptation of the Stephen King novel, The Dark Tower. The next one is a cool little detail to the storm, the cause of all your Fortnite problems. And as I'm sure you've noticed, when things start to kick off, the sky gets to brewing, rain starts to strike the screen, purple tendrils spout from the ground, lightning materializes Husks, and the storm begins. It's shooting and trapping time. Well, what you may not know is that if you've built a canopy over the fighting area, it will actually block the downpour of rain when you're under it. Yes, it's extremely easy to overlook this small detail during the chaos of battle, but I thought it was some really nice attention to the game that many have probably missed. The last one is my favorite because it's just so unique. And, well, if you haven't already noticed, the lawn gnomes in Fortnite are kinda weird. They're almost this strange, omnipotent force, never seen in action, but always meddling. They hold lights to trick the player into thinking a glowing chest is nearby. They're found randomly all over the place. And last but not least, this one is always at the bottom of a waterfall with a wheelchair up above. Just how did he get here? Just how drunk is this garden gnome exactly? Without question, the gnomes in Fortnite have some strange behaviors. And, well, what you may not know is that in ultra-rare occasions, a gnome will jam itself into one of your created brick walls. Look away for 1 minute while building, and bam! There it is. Forget the storm and the husks. These little guys are pure evil.